We just heard from Kowalski from Nebraska outline for us what he sees as a farmer with his soybeans having their lowest sale price ever that he's about to harvest. This because we have lost 40% of our foreign market in terms of the Chinese. We are seeing a slow motion train of farmers hitting the wall. He anticipates a lot of foreclosures. Here's the number 14. Laura Ingraham had Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins on talking about the rise in beef prices. And she's talking about there is a national security if we can't feed ourselves. But what we're looking at is crushing debt on farmers because of our trade policy. One of the ways that you keep capacity, and by capacity, I mean, like, you need to have farmers if you're going to feed yourself. It is much easier, for whatever reason, we can't feed ourselves, to convert exports to just moving around the country when you have farmers than it is to have no farmers and then get people to be farmers again. So just to understand that dynamic, when we are on the cusp of a major crisis in terms of farmers existing. I mean, even J.D. Vance became a partner in a hedge fund that buys up foreclosed farmland. I mean, he probably knows something.
No corruption there.
Now, here is Brooke Rollins.
Okay, so the halting of the cattle trade with Mexico, and a lot of Americans don't know that we get so much of our beef from Mexico, but we do. So it's drastically reduced compared to the first half of 2024. So we've bought 63% less live animals from our southern neighbor.
That's right.
So is there a concern that our costs are going to continue to go up because affordability is a big issue for American consumers? I was just at the grocery store this morning. Yes, I go to the grocery store. Thank you very much. And there were two steaks.
Yeah.
It was $33 for two steaks at the grocery store. And these weren't fancy steaks. They were just like, maybe they were little filet mignons. I don't know, but they were little. Yeah. $32.
So
pause it for 1 second.
We talked about eggs.
Here's where you can see this. The number of Hamburger Helper commercials that I have seen in the past, like 2 weeks. I watch a lot of Red Sox, but like almost all the commercials are Hamburger Helper ads. And that is because when you start to see people cut back on meat, the first thing they do is buy Hamburger Helper. That is like a leading indicator that prices are going up or people can't afford meat because they start putting more filler in it when they make it for their families.
Like the baby laxatives and cocaine.
I mean, yeah. It depends on what market.
Of course.
Maybe.
I heard that in a song.
Brian's telling a little too much about himself.
Military story.
Exactly. But that's what's going on here. So prices are going up, but they're going to make it like it's an isolated thing.
Fancy steaks. They were just like, maybe they were little filet mignons. I don't know, but they were little.
Yeah.
$32.
So here's the thing. We talked about eggs months ago when the price of eggs were so high. The problem, the challenge, I'll say, with our cattle and our beef industry is that it takes 2 years from calf to slaughter. But Laura, here's I don't know if it's the silver lining, but the long-term vision. Just like our manufacturing that we have offshored for years that you've been such a leader on, we've also offshored our food, our beef cattle, our citrus. So much of this we're now importing from other countries like Mexico. This is a massive flag for our country. If we can't feed ourselves, this is a national security issue that has to be solved.
Is there a plan for us to be food secure? Because right now, China is an issue that, I'm focused on.
Brazil, that's exactly.
Listen, I think, there's some value in this, but the idea that we're not going to get foods from Mexico, like, of all places, there are two countries where all we need is roads to get stuff here. And that's Canada and Mexico. it's one thing to say, like, we don't want to have all of our vital infrastructure technology in China, produced in China because things like COVID or whatnot. But getting stuff from Mexico is the easiest thing that we can do. And it's quite possible, I guess, at this rate, that Donald Trump could alienate Mexico so much that they wouldn't want to sell stuff to us. But understand that, like, we're diminishing their capacity too. And there is the idea that we're going to have more available land. I mean, I guess, like, and we're going to lose farmers, and people aren't going to start farming again once, like, the idea is that we're going to feed our own cattle. This is just so haphazard and willy-nilly. It's not, it is not in and of itself a bad idea to try and maintain secure supply lines and to focus on what are specific needs that we have and vulnerabilities, but none of that's been done here.
No, we're all going to be poorer. So for some nebulous concept of national security,
saying that Mexico gets a 20% tariff because of fentanyl is not a way of developing some type of food resiliency in this country. That's just not the way it works. Here is an example of a farmer in
Missouri.
Speaking to Representative Mark Alford.
I think agriculture has taken a heck of a hit on a lot of misinformation, and he is not helping the farmer. I mean, we farm about 3,500 acres.
Oh, pause it for a second.
We
What
are
is
gonna-
this? A bunch of, what are these?
Antifa
Is this
blue
from
hairs?
Brooklyn? Are these guys from Brooklyn? These like podcasters from Brooklyn clapping back there?
What vegan restaurant was this recorded at?
Exactly. No, I'm sorry, Harrisburg, Missouri. Oh, okay.
Farm. I mean, we farm about 3,500 acres. We are going to be so far in the red after the crop comes off, sold. You can only sit on it so long. You got bills to pay, and now we're dealing with 7, 8, 9, 10% operating notes at the local bank. You know, when are you going to stand up for us instead of kissing his ass for these trade deals? And the tariffs, more so the tariffs than the trade.
Okay.
I think agriculture.
First of all, did you see that crowd size? I just looked it up. This town has 271 people in Harrisburg, Missouri.
There's like 45,
biggest event in
50
years.
It's like literally 1/3 of the town.
According to the 2020 census, 271.
it's in Boones County, Missouri, where Nathaniel Boone family settled down.
Oh, that sounds like a blue bastion there.
Exactly.
Jeez. Meanwhile, you only get the truth from Republicans when they're resigning. That's it.
Yep.
It's the only time. Guarantee any Republican who goes on record in criticizing what's going on in the Republican Party, guaranteed they are resigning at the end of their term or tomorrow.
It must feel like such a relief, like it's
Yeah.
your senior year and you don't need to care about biology anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here is Representative Ron Bacon from Nebraska on with Manu Raju talking about the whole tariff issue.
Different. Do you think he's overreaching on tariffs?
I think he is by far. Article 1 of the Constitution clearly gives us to Congress. Granted, we passed 3 laws in the last century, nothing recently, but the last century that gives the president emergency powers. But most people will tell you this is not emergency powers, what he's doing.
And is it hurting your constituents?
Yes, right. We heard just yesterday, we have a company that makes combines. They're moving all of their manufacturing that makes combines for Canada to Europe. Because of the tariffs from going to U.S. to Canada are too high, they can't compete. So they're going to move all the manufacturing for Canadian combines to Europe. That's hundreds of jobs right there. Iowa and Nebraska are really struggling right now with our farm economy. We're not growing markets for corn and soybeans. The president's making trade deals, but not a single country that I can see has bought more corn or soybeans. And that's what we really need right now.
Yep.
And Ryan Grimm corroborated this. As I can report that the company Bacon mentioned here, which is moving some of its production from Nebraska to Europe because of tariffs, is Class, which manufactures combines. And Grimm comments, it's no longer cost effective for them to produce combines for the Canadian market here in the United States, so they're moving production thousands of miles away to dodge the trade war.
Again, there's roads connecting those two places too.
Exactly. They're going to increase their transportation costs probably by whatever percent, 25%, 50%, 100%.
If people look at a combine, it's kind of a heavy thing to ship across water.
And they're doing that. And I got news for you. That company is never coming back. This is not a temporary thing. They are never coming back. First of all, even if they could be guaranteed, Tim Walz will be president in 2029. They're still never coming back because they're like, well, what's to prevent J.D. Vance from being president in 2032? They're not coming back.
Just killing companies. And this is the sort of thing, this company's been around since the 70s, I guess. But the same thing happened in the UK with the Brexit stuff, and people's standard of living was crashing, and they blamed trade, just generically trade, not capitalists or anything like that, but trade. And so you got Brexit, and now everyone's lives are still worse. And what are they doing? They're rioting against migrants.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.